What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another edition of Renegades Reviews, right here on the Casa Studios channel. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today we hit the 2000s with the Tom Hanks films. I'm going to be talking about, from 2000, Castaway, starring Tom Hanks as Chuck Noland, Helen Hunt as Kelly, and Laurie White as Bettina Peterson. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on yet another installment of Renegades Reviews. I, of course, am the Renegade J.J. Williams. Thankful that you're here with me for yet another installment. The year 2000. I mean, I'm not saying that the movies that have come out since the 2000s were bad by any stretch. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but can anyone argue that the 90s was not Tom Hanks's decade? I mean, seriously, look at the movies that I just reviewed. Sleepless in Seattle, A League of Their Own, Apollo 13, Philadelphia, Saving Private Ryan, You've Got Mail, The Green Mile. Even though I haven't talked about them for Tom Hanks month, Toy Story, Toy Story 2. And then, of course, probably his most iconic one, which I am going to get to, just haven't gotten there yet, Forrest Gump. The 90s was Tom Hanks' decade. But every decade must end and start anew. And Castaway kicked off Tom Hanks in the decade of the 2000s. Which is funny because the movie starts in 1995. So right there, we're back to Tom Hanks in the 90s. But anyway, the year is 1995, and Chuck Noland is a systems analyst who is obsessed with time. He travels worldwide to resolve productivity issues at FedEx depots across the world. He lives in Memphis, Tennessee, with his longtime girlfriend, Kelly. And during the family Christmas dinner one year, he receives a phone call. He needs to go resolve a problem in Malaysia. So, being the consummate professional that he is, he leaves, gets on his flight, and his plane has to go through a violent storm. Unfortunately, the storm throws the plane, crashes into the Pacific Ocean, and he escapes with only a life raft, and the emergency locator transmitter is broken in it, unfortunately. The next day, he washes up on the shore of a deserted island, an uncharted island. Sole survivor. He's the only guy to survive the crash. Some FedEx packages wash up also, as well as the corpse of a flight crewman whom Chuck buries. He tries to signal for a passing ship to come rescue him, but to no avail. He also makes an unsuccessful attempt with the life raft to try to get out into the sea, but the incoming surf is just way too strong. It keeps crashing down on him. Ends up throwing him from the life raft, causing injury. His leg gets tore up on some coral reef. He's bleeding as he comes back to shore. He's able to find food and water on the island, and he opens some of the FedEx packages and finds a few useful items. However, there's one package with wings painted on it that he leaves sealed. Now, just to backtrack here a little bit, in the very beginning of the film, before we even meet Chuck, we see this package getting picked up. It belongs to Bettina Peterson, and she's the sender of it, and we get almost this POV session where we're just watching the package. It's almost like if a package had eyes, this is what it would see as it goes from Bettina to the FedEx handler to the truck to being offloaded to the truck. But in any event, I'm getting a little sidetracked, but this package belongs to Bettina Peterson. So he leaves that one sealed for whatever reason about it. Probably just the wings on it. He leaves that one sealed up. While trying to start a fire, he cuts his hand. So now, in a fit of rage, he's throwing objects that were in the packages, just trying to take out his frustration and aggression. Ends up grabbing a Wilson volleyball and throwing it, and leaves his bloody handprint on the ball. He grabs the ball after he calms down, and using some spit and some water and a little bit of a towel type of, piece, he creates a face onto this Wilson volleyball. Ends up calling it Wilson. I mean, it's written on the volleyball, so may as well use it, right? And he speaks to it frequently. It's his only companion on the island. He's alone. So he speaks to this volleyball as his therapy. We flash forward 4 years, and Chuck has managed to survive the whole time on the island, taking shelter inside of a cave, finding sustainable food and water to stay alive. Wilson, like I said, his only companion. One day, a large piece of a porta potty washes up onto the shore, and Chuck decides to try again and build another raft, and this time use the siding piece from the porta potty as a sail. Once completed, he launches the raft. He waits for lower tides. He tries to time out the best time to depart so that the tides out in the break won't be as tough as the last time he tried to escape. So he launches the raft successfully. He gets past the break wall, and he's into the ocean. Now, he was smart enough to bring some food and some water with him, and he still has the one unopened package from Bettina. And he spends some time at sea. Don't really get a lapsing of how long he's out there. But while he's at sea, a storm hits and basically destroys his raft. And then we lose Wilson. Wilson falls into the ocean, and he's lost at sea. And Chuck just breaks down. His only companion, the only thing keeping him mentally glued, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because he's talking to a volleyball, but it's helping him keep his sanity. But he just breaks down. During his breakdown, a cargo ship starts to pass by, and he's rescued. Upon his return to civilization, 4 weeks after that, he learns that he was declared dead. Friends and family had a funeral for him. He asks, what did they bury? And he's told that a bunch of memory type items, almost like a time capsule, were put when they buried him. Kelly has moved on. She's gotten married. She has a daughter. So his entire life as he knew it is now gone. Almost making you wonder what would be worse, to continue being on that island away from everything that you love, or to be back home with everything that you love, but everything is different now and you can't have it the way it used to be. Chuck and Kelly eventually reunite and embrace and kiss. Even though she's married, they still kiss because of all that emotion, the thought that they were never going to see each other again. They profess their love for each other. They're the love of each other's life. But Kelly can't abandon her new life. She can't abandon her husband. He's given her no reason to. Can't abandon her daughter. That would just be all kinds of cruel. But Kelly gives Chuck the keys to the car they once shared. All this time, she's kept it locked away. So even though he can no longer have her, he still has a piece of memories that he had with her within the vehicle. He drives off to go start his new life, and he ends up driving all the way to Texas because he still has that one package from Bettina. He takes it back to her house, tries to knock, nobody's there. So he leaves the package and a note on the doorstep about how that package saved his life. Begins to drive off, and he comes to a crossroads and gets out of his car to check his map, trying to figure out where he wants to go. And a young lady pulls up in a truck, and she starts giving him directions. If you go this way, if you go left, you'll go this way. If you go right, you'll go this way. If you go straight, you'll end up here. And she takes off. And he kind of stands in the middle of the street there, and as she's pulling away, on the back of her truck are the wings. She's got a pair of the same wings painted on the back of the truck that was painted on the package. It's Bettina. So he stands there in the middle of the crossroads, very, very symbolic of where he's going to go. And he starts looking down each of the pathways, and then he turns and he looks down the pathway from which he just came, the pathway that Bettina is now driving down, and he kind of smiles. And the movie ends. I feel it's interesting because, like I said, the symbolism there of standing at the crossroads and trying to decide where your life is going to go next. And I believe it's implied that he then goes back down the road to Bettina and possibly starts a relationship with her, because there was definitely some chemistry between Laurie White and Tom Hanks in the scene they shared. So are we to believe that he now started a life with her? It's just kind of all up in the air. Very, very, very good movie. I give Castaway 4 out of 5 stars. This is another one, much like The Green Mile, much like Saving Private Ryan. I had never seen Castaway until I watched it for this. Much like I talked about on the other films, the trailer just didn't get to me. And then when you heard the fact that essentially Tom Hanks is stranded on an island for 2 hours, you get this thought process in your head, and I know I'm the one that got it. Maybe some of you, my other viewers out there, have this thought process. Do you want to see Tom Hanks talk to himself for 2 hours? Don't get me wrong, I love the guy. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing a whole month dedicated to him. Probably my favorite actor of all times. But can I sit there for 2 hours and watch him talk to himself, talk to a volleyball for 2 hours? No. But As I was once told by my mom a long time ago, Field of Dreams is a good movie. I'll explain that later at some point, I'm sure. But eventually, I had to give this film a chance. And once I gave it a chance, I enjoyed it. Now, is this going to be a Tom Hanks film that I pop in and watch over and over and over again? Like a Forrest Gump or That Thing You Do or a Big? Probably not. But it was damn good. And it's another one that I regret not having seen prior to this. What do you guys out there think of Castaway? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Let's get those hashtags trending out there on social media. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you do what the commercial just told you. Get out there, go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and support the Casa D18 Brethren. Get yourself a Renegade J.J. Williams shirt. Get yourself a Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirt. Get yourself the official Statboy Sports Bar shirt. Get the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Get the official shirt of the Jeff Meacham Network, Meachamania, whatever. There is plenty to choose from right there at teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. And show your love by supporting the Casa D18 Brethren. We've got quite a bit coming up here next month as the theme will change from Tom Hanks month. So let's go ahead and take a quick pause. Check out what's in store for February, right here on Renegades Reviews. As you can see, lots of diversity next month. From February 1st through the 14th, we're going to be having chick flicks, beaches, breakfast at Tiffany's, you name it. 14 days of nothing but chick flicks. And then February 15th through the 28th, Black History Month. Ali, Marshall, Straight Outta Compton, the epic 70s miniseries Roots, and so much more. You're not going to want to miss any of that. So make sure you like, subscribe to the Casa D18 Studios channel so that you can get notified every time a video goes up, just like they do every day right here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you leave your comments in the box below. Let me know what you thought of Castaway. Let me know what movies you'd like to see me talk about in the future. I will pencil them in somewhere just as soon as I can. Come up with a theme for them to get worked into, even if it's just Viewer's Choice Month. I will figure something out and get those films plugged in just as soon as I can. So, thank you again for tuning in to Renegades Reviews right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. And make sure you join me tomorrow where I'm going to be discussing yet another favorite of mine, Catch Me If You Can, starring Tom Hanks alongside Leonardo DiCaprio. So until then, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time right here on Renegades Reviews.